So congratulations firstly to all presenters for a very thought-provoking session. I enjoyed the session, I learned something, and I hope you all can build on that. With the satellite measured coastline of 11,098 kilometers, as Adi pointed out, and it's not 7,516, which is what we used to operate on the basis of the manual survey of 1970. There is urgent need for this underwater domain awareness. And the subject lends itself to much innovation considering that we know so little about this underwater domain. It's easy to think of only defense uses as the primary focus for such awareness. But there is also a huge civilian need for it in terms of mapping, repairs, mining, fishing, recreation, and fishing. You've talked a lot about it this time. So underwater domain awareness has many challenges, different from what is visible on land, air, or space. Lack of availability of power, for instance, if a satellite goes into space, is able to generate power from the sun, for example. Then the high pressure underwater, or corrosion, or varying temperatures and varying salinity, the communication challenges which make remote control more difficult. For instance, speed of movement, manned and unmanned underwater vehicles, difficulty of repairs, avoiding detection, miniaturization. So many challenges. Then urgent need is for applied research in each of these areas. Well, blue sky research can be done by universities and government organizations and government affiliated organizations. What can come out of from research lab by bright people like you is practical applications of these ideas, of innovative ideas. So my focus is on how UDA course participants can participate in entrepreneurship. There are 6 words that an entrepreneur should be guided by: find a need and fill it. And then think. Who will be your customer? Why would they pay for it? How will they use it? Can your innovation make their life a little better? For instance, I got example from Atharva Agarwal's, the whale sound differentiation. Can you make it into a software that can be incorporated into navigation systems of ships? So, for instance, all ships crossing the North Atlantic or wherever there are more whales in the southern hemisphere, etc., can install it when they want to, or use it as a software as a service, for instance. But think of it as in a practical application, and what additional data do you need? What additional refinements you need for that kind of thing? Similarly, I thought you had. In habitat suitability, Nasser had pointed out about models being used for turtles and dolphins. But how do you use it? How do you get the data for the specific? So you will have to integrate all that into that and offer a turnkey solution if you want to. So, when you think of the problem statement, think of who will pay for that problem if you find a solution for it. And if you address that person's needs, then automatically you will come out with thinking and outcomes which are suitable for that. So then the entrepreneur needs to take a guide from the NASA simple words, which then in 1992, an administrator of NASA came out with that guideline. Is it faster? Is it better? Is it cheaper? Faster, better, cheaper. These 3 words again, very simple. And if your innovation addresses these dimensions for the customer, then you have got a winning product. So please go ahead and then develop the prototype. Take the risk with family and friends' money. You are young, can afford to take risks with both time and money. The idea should be that if you fail, fail fast so that you can get up and go again. You live in an age when and the ecosystem allows this. You have the internet. When I started, I didn't have the internet to get information on how a rating agency was to start. I thought and came out with some suggestions as to what I could do. And first time right, we got it right, and we moved ahead. And Israel couldn't get it right, and Malaysia couldn't get it right, so they came to us for know-how, and we had to give them know-how, as it were, as to how to get going. So funding is less of a constraint now than ever before. And with university incubators, state government and other incubators, venture capitalists, etc. So funding would be available. So take that risk, take that plunge. And there are wonderful examples. For instance, Ankit Mehta of IdeaForge Technology, a drones company, is an IIT Mumbai product. And look at it now with the companies listed on the stock exchange. Kishore Atluri, a computer science graduate from Hyderabad, started Zen Technologies, which is now 16,000 crore or 19,000 crore market cap company, and he's developed training simulators for defense and security forces, and now is seeking to work with the Navy. So I would say that you all have done wonderfully well in identifying, areas. Deepak Chaurasia, for instance, sediment modeling in the Brahmaputra. Now, how many practical applications I can think of for creating ports or creating where, for instance, dam could be built or power could be generated or flood risk avoided and so on and so forth. Similarly, in the case of Atul Mangal, modeling of framework for Brahmaputra basin, who will pay for it? That is what you have to think of, Atul. And can you also think of, for instance, just take example. I was chairman of Kansai Nerolac Paints. It's a paint company. So if you were to think of paints in the shipping industry, now the framework for thinking would be, can can you reduce corrosion? Because that's what one of the biggest challenges for shipping companies is. Then avoid detection or faster movement. For instance, a coating like a Teflon coating can make you move faster through the sea. But does it pollute? Then you have to check on those angles and so on. And then is it easy to apply? Is it durable? Can it be quick drying? So those are kind of dimensions that you would work on to get it. And I'm sure if you do some work, then there will be people like paint companies that be interested in getting your know-how. You could market your product and service and so on. So I would say that you follow some philosophy. Your motivation should be, of course, to get financial security, make some money, etc., which is very good. But beyond a point, beyond financial security, money is no of value. You have to think of some philosophy which drives you. Swami Vivekananda had three words, which are three words from the Katha Upanishad, which he was guided by. Uchishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavarna Nibodhata. Arise, awake, and stop not till your goal is reached. And then again, take heart from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which reminds you that you can make your own destiny. You don't have to inherit destiny or be guided by someone abroad who above you who has written your destiny for you. You are what your deep driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. Thank you very much again, and congratulations. You've done a marvelous job, very thought provoking. I hope you can do more work on it and come out with practical outputs and outcomes which can be patented, which can bring revenues for you and bring glory to you, as it were. Thank you again.